Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whatever time of day you look at this video. I trust you had a great day or great afternoon, whatever time. I hope it was a good day for you. It's nighttime for me as usual, so I'm trusting that it was a great day for everybody. Some years ago, I read about this man who was a prisoner somewhere in India, and he was on death row. He was going to be executed, and they told him that he had a choice of having all the blood drained from his body or being hung. I think it was, I don't remember what was the other one. But, anyways, he opted to have the blood drained from his body. And so he was strung up on the table, and they put some basins under the bed, and they did a few little scratches on his body. Nothing that would bleed or anything, but he wasn't aware of this because he was lying down and all of that. And he was strung up, and they set the thing to start dripping the water. They set up something to have the water start dripping into the pan. And he heard it going into the pan, like it started strong initially and it went on until it started to drip down. And the man died. And they had not taken an ounce of blood from him. And when he died, he was as white as sheet. That is the power of the mind. I read again about this gentleman who had been told that he had tuberculosis and malaria, and he was in the hospital and he was so distressed. But while he was there and they told him that he tested positive for these two diseases, the doctor came and said he's also very sorry to tell him that he tested positive for HIV. And the man went into depression. He just stopped eating and he became so emaciated and all of that. And maybe about a week or so after, because he was almost on his last, the doctor came in and said to him, "Sir, I am very sorry to tell you." He said, "What no?" And the doctor said, "I'm here to tell you that you do not have HIV. We apparently mixed up your blood works with somebody else's." And the man said, "What?" And the doctor said, "Yes," and we apologized profusely. And the man that was dying jumped out of the bed and was dancing around on the ward, and all the other patients were wondering what was it that had happened. What did the doctor say to him, and why was he so actively jumping around and all of that, only to find out that the diagnosis that he had got was incorrect. And so he got well again, and he was able to find the energy and strength to jump around until I guess he was discharged from the hospital. That is the power of the mind. I remember I must have told you before that I had gone into the supermarket. I was looking for an item. And when I asked one cashier, she said, "I don't have it, but check with that cashier over there." And I went and the woman said, "I don't think." And I said, "Please look here, because you see, like how the doctor tell me that I have the big C. I want it." And the woman said, "What?" And she went into a tizzy, and I was so frightened. I said, "No, no, 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 no. You can't do that. I'm saying it is okay. It is no, it's not okay. If the doctor ever tell me that, I would have mad." And I'm like, oh my goodness. And I understood how she might have felt, because she was scared for me. But I had to reassure her and just hope that it doesn't happen to her. That is the power of the mind. And let me tell you something. because of how our mind works, we can get well or we can get sick. We can do things we never knew we could do, or we just lay down arms and let things happen to us. I remember my mother told me as a child about an old woman who lived somewhere in Swift River, and they had a flood. It was a hurricane, I think, and the place was flooded out. And the woman had a machine. There's another time. That machine there is something for another story time. A machine, a foot machine. The younger ones don't even know what that is. But it's a sewing machine. And it had a pedal at the bottom, and you'd put both feet on it and just rock it forward and backward, and it would sew for you while you're spinning the handle up top and using the other hand to move the cloth and all of that. You guys would think it's hilarious if you were to see that now. But yes, and the place flooded, and the old woman, grabbed up the machine and she ran with it. Ran. That there is the power of the mind. You see, the adrenaline kicked in and she was able to move. I told you already, I think also, about a time when 5 of us were coming from church one evening and we saw 3 men coming up the road with guns and we were scared stiff. Now me, when I am afraid, I move. I get into flight mode. Some people freeze, they can't do anything. But I moved like lightning and I sailed over the gate and was going up the wall, the smooth wall. I was actually halfway up the wall. How? I don't know. But the men passed, and my girlfriend was screaming for her mother, and her mother opened the grill and turned on the light, and we got in there. And when I looked outside, I couldn't believe it. The woman had whole heaps of flower pots she had put out because it looked like it was going to rain. I think it might have rained. And I never touched a leaf of any of those plants that she had out there because I was scared and I was running, I thought, for my life. That is the power of the mind. So I'm telling you all of that to say to you that whatever your mind conceives, it can achieve. Yes, it can. And if you are approaching something with a mindset that you can do it, you will do it. And if you tell yourself you can't do it, you're not going to do it because you've already defeated yourself. So you have to entertain positive thoughts. Know that there are things that you can do. It might look daunting initially, but if you give yourself the opportunity and the chance to do it, you really can do it. I want you to entertain positive thoughts so that you can do something. You might be in a slump, you can get out of it, because whatever you are entertaining in your mind, like I said before, whatever the mind can conceive, it can achieve. And that is a truism. And God has given us the ability to do things that sometimes we don't even know that we're capable of. But think about it and see what happens. People have healed themselves because of the thoughts that they entertain when they become sick. People have died because they lost hope. They thought that if this thing happens to them, they can't recover. I had a very good friend and she was diagnosed with cancer, and it wasn't so bad, but within 2 weeks she was dead because I think she thought that once she has cancer, she can't survive and that it's a death sentence, and so she passed. So I'm here to encourage you not to entertain those thoughts when they come along. You just replace them with something else. Replace, reframe, do that, and you build all sorts of different thought processes, and you'll be able to change the negatives to positive if you try to do that intentionally. So I am encouraging you to do that. Change your mindset and see how you can make your life better than how it is right now. And if it is good, you can still make it better. So that's all I have to say this evening. Thank you for listening. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment if you will. And I'll see you soon. Have a good one. Bye.